Hi friends, it's Becky.
And Jenny.
And I'm at my sister's house, and so we are going to do a project together. And one of the things that we love to do is painting together. But we're going to be doing some jewelry making too. But not just any kind of jewelry, we're going to be doing tree jewelry. I've got these little kits for some beaded snowflakes, and we're going to be putting those together as well. And then we decided that we were going to paint some snowflakes, like snowfall and skies, together using some paints and just having a really good time. So that's what we're going to be doing. This is something that I have done before on this channel. One of my favorite activities is to take a color palette that I'm inspired by with my beads, paint a picture with it, and then also make some jewelry to go with it. So that's what we're doing here. We're going to be painting some snowy skies, using some salt to make it snowy, and then also making some snowflakes to go on a tree for Christmas decorations.
So, bling for my tree.
Bling for the tree, exactly. We're going to be doing tree jewelry. So that's what we're using today. We've pulled out some Sennelier paints. We've got phthalo blue, aquamarine. What was the green on that?
The green, I don't remember. This one's the green though.
Forest green. For some, you know, some trees maybe.
And Payne's Gray.
And Payne's Gray. So those are the colors that we're using. It's a limited palette, but it's exactly what we need for that. And then we're just painting on some blocks. I've got a semi-cotton, it's like half and half cotton and cellulose block that I'm painting on, and Jenny's got a 100% cotton. It's Layton on that. This one's Paul Rubens. And so we're just gonna sit down and we're gonna play. And usually when we do this, the way we do it is, or the way I do it is, there's always one point in watercolor where you have to let the paint dry. You gotta walk away and do something else. So we're gonna paint up to that point, and then we're gonna set our painting aside and start doing our snowflakes. And then once we have made our snowflakes, we'll pull our paintings out and we'll do our finish up work with that. So that's how this is gonna go. It's gonna take a little while. So sit back, grab a drink, come and hang out with us while we paint things and make snowflakes. So first thing we're going to start with is a wash with our blues and our skies, and we might actually be mixing some blues together maybe. I don't know, but I'm going to put some water down first so it can get soaked in a bit. I'm going to leave a little bit of space down here for some snow drifts because I'm going to use the Payne's Gray to delineate some snow.
And I'm using some Payne's Gray to soften the blue, so it's more like, you know, a winter sky isn't as bright blue as like a summer or spring sky, especially if it's delivering snow, which mine is going to be. So this is making it more of like a blue-gray,
yes.
Instead of like a blue sky, because I want some snowfall.
That's right. So we paint differently. Even when we do it together.
We have very different styles.
We have different styles. So our paintings are going to turn out totally different from each other, which is one of the fun things about painting with my sister, is like we're going in with the same kind of idea and we're going to end up with something wildly different from each other.
And I've gone ahead to where I'm wetting my paper, where I'm going to be dropping in the color for the sky, because I really do want it to be super diluted. Like, this is not going to be the color of my sky. But trying to give it a little bit of shape so that I can do something else that you'll see. So it's not going to be a straight line across. I'm going to make some little hill type shapes. Okay. So then, really dilute it. I hope that this is gray enough. I might do a tiny bit more gray.
I'm adding a little bit more color than my sister is intending to, because I just want some swoops and swooshes.
I want
in
a
here.
moody sky.
Yeah. Swoops and swooshes can give moods. Then we're going to be using some salt, which is a super, super fun thing to add to your painting, especially this kind of painting. Last year around this time, I did a snowflake painting where I actually masked out snowflakes, and then I painted blue on a sky, and then dropped salt in to do some fun things. And that was really fun. I can put a link to that if you want to see that painting. I did a painting that was inspired by some of the beads from Sam's Bead Box that time of year, last year as well. So we're both at the point, I think, where we're grabbing some of our green.
I'm going to wake that up a little bit more. There's not enough water in there.
And I'm just doing some vague tree shapes. Just a little bit along the horizon. Not...
And I'm doing the thing again where I'm graying out my green, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint just a very fine line here where I've damped my paper. And it's going to be, oh, come on. It's not wet enough. Hold on. I want it to grab that paint and pull it up into the sky, so it kind of makes a hazy, trees far in the background kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm getting...
I'll be doing more green after it dries.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm going to grab some salt, because this is the fun part. I'm using the fine crystals because it's a small painting. Oh boy. Is it just me, or is it hard to open this?
It's hard to open. You're doing fine as well? Yeah, just leave it open.
Okay. So, while this is drying, I don't know if this is wet enough.
I had to add wet to my sky to make it.
My, so here's the thing, is usually on cotton paper it'll hold on to the stuff a little bit more. And sorry, I just hit the camera, or the thing holding the camera. This is only partially cotton, so it's a little bit different. But you want the salt to, you want there to be enough moisture in it for the salt to dissolve, because then it pushes away some of these things. And it adds some, and we'll be adding more snowflakes too.
Paper towels.
Oh, paper towels. That's a very important part of doing painting.
Tricky part, fixing the puddling without removing too much of the color.
Mm-hmm.
Go back in and add some more color in where I'm fixing the puddling.
I'm just, while it's still wet, doing a few more like darker tree shapes, so they'll spread out in the paper a little bit more.
There'll be time for details later.
Yep. So there'd be some stuff in the background.
I want this to fuzz out and get muted.
Yep. So,
all right, and then I need a little bit of that salt. Because my sky is so light, my salt effect won't be that obvious. You may not even see it. Yep, I'm opening the other side. It'd be so much easier.
That's a good plan, good plan, good plan. I'm going to go and grab my tools, because that is something that I forgot to grab, so I'm going to go do that.
I supposed to keep talking, or like,
Well, you can if you want.
Fill silence, and there's nobody to talk to. See, Becky has practice talking to nobody, but we're talking to you, and she knows what to say. I don't have that practice.
Yeah.
And I think I finished where I want my painting to start with. I can't really do much else until it starts to
dries.
dry. And
So
then
this
we
is the
can
part where if you don't have something else to do, you're liable to screw up your painting because you're like, it must be dry enough, and you'll start doing it before you actually can. Yeah, it's a really great way to screw up your painting, to do it that way. I'm just moving these out of the way. And let's pull our bead mat over. I am having, by the way, a wonderful visit with my sister. I've got Ellen here with me. She is visiting as well. So you may hear her later. But right now she's settled on a couch having a snoozle. And I just wanted to show you what we got. You can get kits like this, and that's what I brought, is some kits that I got from Amazon. Or you can just get the forms themselves like this. Like Beading sells them, and then you can just add your own beads from your own bead stash. But we're just going to use these because that's what I brought with me. And we do have plans to do some other ornaments later, but we're waiting for some beads to arrive here for that. We're just doing our snowflake ornaments now, and they've got little instructions, which is basically not instructions, it's just these pictures that show you how to do it, or show you sort of what to do.
Well,
That one
they're
has
different
actually instructions.
styles.
Yeah,
Like,
there are two different styles. There's this one that just comes with the beads and the forms.
and you're basically just putting the beads
Yep.
on the spokes of the snowflake to
Yep.
use. But this one actually looks like it's got some bead weaving going on, and it includes, in addition to the beads and the frame, a little bit of fine wire.
So
that
we
can
could
be
do
used
some
to do a
fun
little bit of
things like
bead
that.
weaving. Yes.
Well, yeah, look at that. Oh, we're gonna be able to do that. Well, I did bring over some nippers, some wire cutters. I am not going to be cutting any of this wire with these because I don't want to ruin my snippers. But this wire, this bead, basically it's a craft wire.
Really fine though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say this is about 24 gauge.
And it looks like they use it to make these little spaces between the spokes of the snowflakes.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of pretty.
That'll be fun to do some of this with. And then it looks like we've got some beads. There's some bicones.
Yeah, so these are some pearly seed beads.
These look like they are about 6.0 for the size. They've got kind of an iridescent shine on it, an AB finish.
And then instead of separate packets, this is just a bead mix.
Yep. It looks like they gave you enough beads to do one in that bead mix.
I know. I'm like,
It's a good thing we've got all these other beads, huh?
gonna do. Okay, the sorting thing is something that we share.
Yes.
I promise. This is normal. So I'm gonna pick these out and count how many of these, because these are the ones that are like unique to the design. And according to this design, there should be 6 for each snowflake.
Yeah.
But we can mix and match these beads.
Yep,
There's
and
no
we
reason
can
we can't
also
those
use
beads.
some of these blank forms too, so we don't have to use just what came in that kit for those snowflakes. We can do some of these others. Some of the other tools that I'm using, in addition to these wire cutters that I'm not going to be cutting this wire, by the way. I don't want to ruin them. But I've got these for making little loops. They are my 6-step veil making pliers, and I'm just going to use this end to, after we stack on some beads, I'm going to be curling the end of the wire with that to make it so that the beads don't fall off. And also to give something to loop on a hook that I'm going to make with some 18 gauge craft wire. So I'm going to be using that. I also have some chain nose pliers in case we need it. But for right now, we're just going to start, once we're sorted,
I have to sort. I have to
we're
sort.
going to start adding some beads however we want.
These
on
crystally
each
beads
of
are a
these.
couple of different sizes, so I figured separating them was a good idea.
That is a good idea, actually. I'm just going to get these little packets of beads out of here.
Listen to me.
And
All
it's-
professional crystally beads.
They're crystal bicones.
I'm the amateur.
They have an AB finish on them. There are some crystal rounds here. These are all glass beads. So actually, these feel like they're acrylic.
I don't think these are,
not crystal. These ones are crystal.
these all just feel like plastic. They're probably acrylic.
Oh, they might be. Which is fine because, you know, sometimes you're like, ah, plastic beads, oh, crystal beads or something. But when you're doing a decoration like this, something that's just going to hang from a tree, something that is going to look pretty for a while, for a few weeks, a year, that's a really good use for acrylic or plastic beads to have that. Oh, these are bead stoppers, Jenny.
Oh.
This came in the little kit.
For us to end with them.
So we could do a little stopper on the end of this instead of curling it.
Oh, like backs of,
Yeah.
except it doesn't go through.
It doesn't go all the way through, no. It's just a little stopper, and that's totally fine. So we've got a bag of stoppers over here. I'm gonna stick this over here in this corner so that we're not accidentally putting them on as, as designs. Here, do you want some of these over here?
Sure.
All right. There's just so many beads. Let's get them out.
These are bigger. Are these?
Yeah, they're
Does it
different
matter which is
sizes.
for which?
It doesn't matter. We can do whichever ones we want. There's some really small ones in this, like just some teeny tiny guys.
I'm a little afraid that the one in front of me is the one that is bead weaving.
There's no bead weaving. No.
No, but because it's the same like form. Like how do you like to use the wire and stuff?
All right. Let me figure this out for you.
Okay, so I used the wrong term.
Yeah. No, it's sort of wire wrapping is what it would be.
Okay.
So I'm going to do each of these, and it looks like these are bent back. So if I follow this beading pattern on here, then I'm going to start with one of these 6/0 seed beads. Grab one of these and start doing it with me.
Okay.
There you go. So I'm just going to do one of these at a time. And then it looks like we've got a bicone, and it's one of the larger bicones. And then another seed bead. And I'm just gonna, if you tap the top of it, it rotates it and it'll slide right on there.
Oh.
Like that.
I'll probably spill my other beads, but thank you.
That's why I'm pinching it on here like that.
How relatable am I right now?
Pro tip. Thanks, Becky, but no thanks. Okay, so I've got those on there, and then it looks like there's another seed bead. So maybe it looks like three seed beads in a row, actually.
Okay.
Like that. And then
one of my seed beads is a weird shape.
1, 2, 3, and then it looks like one of these smaller bicones, and then a seed bead. Where's the big ones? And then we've got that. Because these will go in between right here.
Yeah, when we do the wire part.
Yep. And then
Okay.
a big one. And then just however you want it to go. I'm going to do another seed bead before the little one. Even though in the picture it looks like there's just a little one right next to the big seed, a little bicone next to the big one.
They're
Like
having
that.
you do the wire in between beads.
Oh, in between? Ugh.
Like while
That's
you're
awkward.
making it. Yeah.
All right, well then I'm gonna pull these off. So it says right here how to do it. Okay, why are we trying to figure this out if there's
I
instructions?
pulled it out.
Good job. All right. So okay, so let's do, how many is that? Two seed beads right above that, and then that's where we start adding the beading wire. You know what? This is the more complicated one. Do you want to do easy ones first?
Let's do easy ones first.
Let's do easy ones first, and then
That's
we'll
what
come
I was
back.
trying to get to.
We'll come back to the more complicated ones after we do a few easy ones. After we've got that on our after we've got some accomplishment, right? You got to build
Yeah.
up from the more difficult to the easier ones.
You're right. That is more wire wrapping from looking
So,
at it.
Yep. I'm gonna finish undoing these. And for these, let's just stack on the beads however we want them to go.
Yeah.
And then once we've got one spike done, we'll either cap it or curl in the end and do the exact same thing. Or you could do different things on some of them, where you could have like bigger beads on this one and then smaller beads on these two if you wanted, even though that's not technically how Snowflake symmetry works.
I'm going to consolidate my beads over here a little bit more so there's room for you to get yours spilled out.
It's not mine and yours, it's ours. We're sharing.
This beads.
Oh,
This
that
kid's
kid's beads. Okay.
The beads in front of me.
I was gonna be like, our mother taught us to share better than that.
Yes. The beads in front of me. How's that? The ones I'm responsible for at the moment.
Yes.
Is that better?
Your big deal beads.
My big deal beads.
Okay. So we're gonna have some blues over here. Look at these light blue. It looks like we've got some rice beads.
We're putting packets on top of my
That's
painting.
just the shape of it. That's what it's called, these rice beads, where they're like the long cylinder.
I'm gonna interrupt. Look what I don't know if it's gonna pick up on camera, but it is actually starting to do something
Scooch
with my salt, and I'm glad because I did a really pale sky, but I wanted it to have
You were worrying a little bit.
Yeah, I wanted that
Yay.
texture to the sky.
It's working. Magic is happening.
Yes.
All right. So these are round crystal beads. These are just rounds. These are rounds, and there's like 5 millimeters, 6 millimeter, and 8 millimeters of these like crystal, this rainbow AB finish rounds. Like that. 10 millimeter.
Would you like me to open some packets?
Yes!
To be helpful.
Yes!
Open some packets.
I would love you to open some packets.
Okay.
Absolutely, yes.
You said you had in your car some of your organizing containers we might need.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
we're undoing all of these.
Our organizers. Okay, so, well, we might
For
be...
later.
Yeah, when we go to put these away.
Yes.
We're going to want to put them in an organizer probably for later. Ooh, I love this color.
I do
really
too.
hope this shows up on camera when I bring it closer to you guys so you can see it better.
Oh,
I actually can't tell if that's on camera because we had to put this much higher to accommodate both arms being in the way.
this is the same color but smaller.
Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. I love those. And I've got like some aqua blue guys here.
And these are smaller versions of the same ones she just filled out.
Yeah.
You'll see more of it later, but this kind of blue, the shade of turquoisey, aquamarine, this really goes well with my tree. So
Yeah, we're going to be doing some video of her tree later, so you guys will be able to see it on the channel. And if you are not subscribed, go ahead and do that now so that you can see it later. And you'll get notified when we post it. I'm going to do smaller bead right up next to the bottom and then go to larger beads. So small.
I'm gonna steal seed beads from this other kit.
That's
to do
a
that.
great plan, actually. So small round bead, and then I'm gonna do a blue bead here, one of those. I like that color. And then a couple of these crystal beads. One small bead, and then a larger crystal, like this. And one of these. One of these. All right, and there needs to be enough wire at the point to be able to put
How
on a
much should I
stopper.
Should I just do stoppers? That's probably the simpler part, simpler option.
Okay, there we go.
Seems like it's an easy way to do it.
Yep.
Instead of curling.
Yep. Leave one of them and let me curl it
To use as a hanger.
To use as a hanger, but yeah, because we're gonna want to do that. All right, so now the trick is for me to do the exact same pattern on the other 6 spokes. And we may do some of this off camera. We may, just because we might be doing this for a while.
Or just cut it as needed.
Right?
That's okay.
But like I said, you knew what you were getting into. It was going to be a long video while we were making some things. Sorry.
Sorry. I'm still trying to decide how I want mine set up, so.
You are allowed to change your mind even after you've gotten it started.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put links to each of these kits that I got, by the way, if you are curious and would like to buy them. They will be in the description below. I like this. This is actually my first time making snowflakes, beaded snowflakes. I just hadn't got around to doing it before.
I think it looks like water droplets.
I
It's also
love
round.
it. I love them.
So that's what I'm doing for mine. I think the longest part is figuring out the first one, because then you can just, repeat, and it just
there.
becomes a thing, and
Exactly.
you can just sit and visit with the person that you're making snowflakes
That's
with.
right.
And if
Oh,
you,
that's too big.
and if you don't have someone to sit and visit with while you make snowflakes, you can just turn this on and sit and visit with us while we make
That's
snowflakes.
right. So I don't know if I have mentioned it or if everybody has heard reasons why I got into watercolor painting. And it was because I wanted something to do with my sister. While she was 3 hours away and I was 3 hours away and we weren't able to visit each other.
During the pandemic.
Yep, when everything was shut down. And so we subscribed to Let's Make Art because they did watercolor kits at the time. They've since moved on to a digital only model, which is fine with us because we've got
With a
paint.
few physical products,
Yeah.
but it's not a subscription anymore.
Yeah.
It's a
They just release
one-off
a new bunch of paintings every month. But it's still a really great experience to be able to paint with them, with Let's Make Art. The instructions are fantastic. I highly recommend to anybody who wants to learn watercolor to go ahead and learn from Sarah Cray.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was something we would do every week. We'd turn on video camera and Zoom or whichever
We mostly did Zoom
web
back then,
conferencing. Yeah, it was mostly Zoom. And we would just sit and paint and chat and have a visit every week. We haven't done it for a while. So I am really glad. Oh, no!
I just flicked half of my beads off my snowflake.
No.
Wow.
That's fine.
I should be like, oh, where'd you go?
Where'd you go, Woody?
Come back here, buddy.
That's not where you go. Yes.
Okay.
But yeah. It's like we haven't gotten a chance to do it for a while, so I am really enjoying the fact that we got to sit down and do painting together today. I'm tickled about it. It just hasn't been something that we've been able to do. And now we're doing more than that. We're doing making ornaments too. Last year we did, no, it was the year before because we didn't do Christmas last year. Wasn't it the year before when I came up and I did, I brought those wood ornaments and then painted some watercolor ground on it and then did watercolor painting on the wood ornaments.
Well, and we also did a wire wrapping
Yes.
to do, spelled out the word joy.
That's right. I actually have a video, I
It's
think,
on my tree
of
right
the,
now.
Yeah, I have a video of how to do the joy ornament. I will put that in the link below. And basically you just write out whatever word you want to do and then bend the wire to match what you've written out on a drawing. It's pretty easy. Pretty easy, but yeah, there is a video of that if you want to see it. So this is turning into a regular thing for us then, for me to come visit and us to make ornaments.
That first year that Becky came and made ornaments with me, and get a little bit of personal history here, our grandmother had just died.
Yes.
And even though I was still, and I still am in a lot of ways, recovering from a lot of long COVID things that have affected my health, that year, to cheer me up, my husband put up a tree. But we had nothing on it. There was no energy left to decorate the tree, nothing. I couldn't put that much into it, but I had cheerful lights I could turn on, and I mentioned it to Becky, and so she says, well, I'm going to come for a visit, and she came for a visit. I'm like, we're going to put something on your tree. So that year, I only had like 3 ornaments on my tree, but they were ones that Becky came and made for me so I could have ornaments on my tree.
Yep.
Or helped. She came and made it with me, I should say.
All right, so right here at the very end, I am just making a little loop with the smallest loop on my bill making pliers right here. On that end. And I'm gonna make a hook while you're finishing up the rest of your stuff. Just gonna do this right here with y'all. I'm using some 18 gauge wire. This is silver plated pewter. Figure it will be a good one to use. And I'm gonna make a loop on it using my bill making pliers. I'm gonna use the second largest loop. I'm just gonna grab it, turn this until it meets. If you can see like that, it makes a little P shape. And now, around the biggest actually, let me grab this because I want a bigger loop for my hook. I'm just using one of our paint brushes to make a hook like that that'll go on the tree. Yep. And then about here, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this. These are my double flush cutters. They cut both sides flush at the same time. So now that I've got my bigger loop, actually, hand me that bleed proof white, because that's kind of a bigger.
Is that too much?
No, I think it'll be just enough. There we go. That way you'll fit over a tree branch.
Because I also have a very fat handle on this.
It's not pretty, but it'll do for my hook. And then I just want to do another little loop here because that's what's going to hook onto the ornament as a simple loop. Loop. And either of these loops will hook on. Oof. Well, it's a good thing this is going to be hidden by tree branch things. This
Branch things.
weird looking loop that I made, and I'm sorry, I just dropped this and messed up everything that we had. I apologize.
Doesn't bother me.
Thank you. All right, where am I going? So I got the one loop. I opened this with my chain nose pliers. I'm just gonna swing it closed. And there we go. Ornament. I made a snowflake.
You know you're going to need to do that for me, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I do know. I have the tools for that.
You do.
I can do all of these things. I'm
You
gonna
have
make,
the tools and you'll be much faster because you have the practice.
I'm gonna make another, but that's probably gonna be better actually, this one.
feel like I'm bending the snowflake, trying to keep it straight. I'm like gripping it and
You're probably not doing as much damage as you think you are.
it's okay. It will go back into the where it's supposed to be.
There we go. That hook's gonna be a little bit better. See, it's already much prettier than the first one.
Because you didn't change your mind partway through.
Yes.
Why?
That's why.
That's why.
So that is ready to go whenever your stuff is done.
Almost.
If you want to work hard on your hooks, you can. I would suggest a wire whacker or a bench block and mallet, or you can just give it a smush with your pliers. Any pliers that don't have like serrated insides. Just to work hard on it a little bit. So it'll keep its form. Got that one done.
And these are light ornaments, so
Yeah.
probably not a huge deal, but still, you know, especially if you have pets or kids that like to tug on things.
Mm-hmm. We have both been really, really loving these little blue.
Yeah, we
ones.
both started with those.
Yeah,
I'm going bright.
Okay,
on my
I was
next
gonna
one.
go to these next ones too.
We're not related.
Not at all. Us having the same thoughts in our head, not impossible. I'm going sparkly though.
Yeah, you're going faceted.
Yes, I love sparkles.
I don't know why. I'm finding the round shapes really satisfying. I also love
No,
sparkles.
no,
but-
I get it though. I absolutely get it because it is, like you said, it's like water droplets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels cozy. Like one of my favorite things is curling up with a good book on a rainy day. And this, I know this is snow. I know that this is snow and snow is crystally, but they're still like.
I'm just gonna grab a pinch of
I
these over
lost
here.
a bead. I'll find it later. Coming back
Yeah.
for a different one.
Yeah, I lose beads all the time. You're gonna find beads on your floor later, like a year after I leave. I promise you. That isn't as ominous as it sounds. It was not a threat.
Or a comment on my housekeeping, I hope.
No. I'm saying beads have a tendency to go places that you do not expect. It was not a comment on your housekeeping. My goodness.
I don't know. You are my sister.
This is true. Okay, and I think for this one, instead of the little point protectors, I'm just going to curl all of my spokes. Because this is an
Let me
option
see
that
how
you
much
can use
space you're
too.
leaving for curling because I'm about to be to that point where I need to leave space. Okay. I think that means I can't.
That's about a centimeter of space.
Is this is following my pattern? Is that not enough space?
That's enough space.
That's enough space.
That's enough
Okay.
space.
I just leave off the seed beads at the end to
Yep.
make room for the curl.
So I'm just going to use this and curl it. And one of the reasons I use this to curl it is because this is a very strong pliers. Round nose pliers may not stand up to curling this because this is about the same strength of wire as a memory wire. So, I mean, to cut it, you would use like memory wire cutters and not regular cutters.
Oh, I did them wrong.
You
Alright,
did?
Continue going. That was supposed to be clear and I did blue.
Okay. If you have, sometimes they've got some bail making pliers that have two different sizes on it, like a small and a large. Those are also really great at bending memory wire and would be great at bending this.
I'm going to hand this to you to bend this one. I have to fix this one, but I don't want to
Okay.
lose all my beads.
Okay. Take care of that for you. And right here where it's mostly bent over, but it's hard to get in the way. I'm just gonna pull it and push it shut a little bit better using these chain nose pliers. Come on, buddy. I know you were worried about bending it, but you really shouldn't have been.
I know. I was just thinking
Really
that.
shouldn't have been worried.
As she clutches it in this death grip to get there.
Oh,
Did one of my ends come off?
yeah, I ruined it for you. Sorry.
Oh, it actually came off.
Yeah, I broke it.
Okay, we have more forms.
We have more forms.
I'll just start over.
Sorry.
Do I need to leave more space? Should I change my pattern? Because I'm going to be restringing.
Yeah, just a little more space. That'll be fine.
I'll use fewer seed beads at the base of it.
Just maybe leave off one more seed bead. That'll be fine.
Because I had 2 at the beginning of each, and I could just do 1.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay.
Sorry.
You don't know your own strength.
I do though.
You do know. You know exactly your
I
strength.
do. It's just this is the first time I've used these things, so I don't know how strong they are. I don't know this strength. I don't know
Yes.
how this goes. So our mom is probably going to watch us doing this, and she's going to be like, my girls are getting along? What? We used to fight a lot when we were kids.
We're only a year and a half apart.
Yeah.
You can imagine what that was like.
Especially when we were both teenagers.
I lived in another state when we were both teenagers.
Well, you were
I was a
close
preteen when
enough.
I left.
Yeah. I really like this. Just not. I might go grab my round nose pliers actually, because this isn't curving the way I want it to.
Becky,
What?
should we start with you curving one, and then I can finish off the others?
I think that's a great idea. That way, if I break it, it won't ruin all your hard work.
And also, it's less that you have to fiddle with.
Exactly. But yeah, that was a good idea. All right, that's. It's a
Is that
loop.
easier?
It's a loop.
Hey, it doesn't have to be pretty. It hooks onto a hook.
Exactly. People are going to be looking at the what are they called? The pretty beads, and not at the hooks. I hope. Yes. That was definitely the way to do it. To do the curve part first.
We're so used to doing that as kind of like a finishing thing. Okay, finish
Right?
it.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
But it doesn't matter to the snowflake which one
You
do
goes done
that on.
first, yeah.
I was going to try to just reverse this, but that order's not symmetrical from one tip to the other. So
That's
I'm just
fine.
going to pull them off.
That is fine. Sort of love these.
Snowflakes are fun.
Snowflakes are fun. What?
I was just thinking of all the different times, like all the little kid crafts you do where you make snowflakes, like cutting paper or, you know.
I was obsessed with making snowflakes when I was like
That's exactly what
a
I was
teen
thinking
and a
about.
preteen. I would spend hours like folding paper and cutting it, and I had a large binder just full of cut out snowflakes
She did.
that I was obsessed with them. Like, see, and at that time in our lives and in the world, I didn't know what a hyperfocus was. But boy, was that it for me.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. I mean, we could make other snowflakes. We could cut some out if you wanted.
No.
No? Okay.
We're painting snowflakes and we're beading snowflakes. That's at least 2 types
Right.
of snowflakes. And we have other things that we're hoping to do tomorrow if the things come that we need
That's
to
right.
come.
We're going to be doing some candy and confection themed ornaments if they get here in time, and I'm hoping they will.
I bet they will.
They probably will. And if they don't get here tomorrow and they get here the next day, then we'll just do them then. Because I'm here for a while, guys. I wanted to wait until after we do the ornaments for her tree with the confection stuff before I do a video of her tree, so you guys get to see. Oh, what am I doing?
Did you just cut the wire?
No, I didn't. I started tightening the loop on a different spoke from the one that I had just beaded. So like, all of the beads are sliding off of that one.
We're not related.
No, not at all. Oh dear. Yeah, so just to warn you, we do giggle a lot when we are together,
Yeah.
in case you were not forewarned enough about me and my sister.
I might apologize for other things. Like, I don't know. You probably hear the dishwasher running in the background because we're sitting in my kitchen.
No,
But not for giggling.
no,
I won't apologize for being silly with my sister.
we should not apologize for that.
I feel like I'm missing something here. Why is this so much shorter? No, it's alright. It doesn't. I'm not missing something there, am I?
Oh, you might be using a different size of snowflake.
Well, I was using fewer seed beads.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But just between that one and the one next to it, look at how much more it's sticking out. Like, those are not the same length, maybe? Did I forget something in that?
Well, there is a shorter seed bead. The seed beads are not
They're not uniform.
uniform size.
Okay.
So that might be it also. There we go. Maybe these aren't uniform in length.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. So I'm just going to fill in that space because I don't like how bare it looks with some extra seed beads. Because nobody's going to be counting seed beads at the end of my snowflake, right?
No. You're not gonna have like Santa being like, oh, that one ornament has one too many seed beads at the end of one of its spokes. We're not gonna leave any presents for them here.
That's just what I'm going to do. Finish off with some seed beads at the end. That's better.
Small. I do like how sparkly this is though. I'm just gonna move
It's
it around
super
for a little bit
sparkly.
so it can sparkle some more.
I might have to do a faceted one next. But I really am loving these. I want to do something with those.
Do some with those. I think those would look great with those. What am I doing next? I think I might. So
That's what I did different.
This is a really fun activity to do with like some kids or something if you wanted to get everybody together.
I'm too much of a perfectionist to leave it, so I'm unstringing these.
Of course, of course.
So how many of your friends yelled at me like, Jenny, you forgot that one. That's what's wrong.
Probably 2, 3.
Forgot the small clear one.
I don't know. We're not close enough to the camera for them to see details.
Oh, they might not see. Yeah.
Yep. But if any of you caught it, good job.
Yeah.
Good looking out.
Because we both looked and we couldn't see it.
Yeah, we both looked at it.
I have to fix 2 of these strands because I missed it.
Yeah.
Strands.
Sorry, I wasn't sharp enough.
Well, we both looked. So sparkly.
So sparkly, so twirly. Twirly whirly. I'm gonna grab some more of these seed beads.
It's because I'm having to restring this, so I'm blaming Becky.
Yeah, it's my fault.
Uh-huh.
If only I hadn't ruined it, right?
You ruined it.
I ruined it.
Oh no. Oh, that's the one that I started to do. And I realized. It's these little guys right here. I forgot one of those. But it was all the way down. It was the 3rd bead. So it's all the way down.
That's fine. You'll get to it.
I will.
Where am I going? Couple more. Go.
Becky, this is typical.
What?
Becky will have finished 3 snowflakes by the time I finish 1.
But Jenny, even though you like take longer on it, it's because you're so like precise, and I'm just like, let's throw it all together and see if it sticks.
This is definitely typical of our interaction.
This is how our sister lives go. I have switched from using these to make a loop to just bending it over with the chain nose pliers, by the way. Because I'm tired of
less fuss.
I'm tired of fighting the loopiness. I don't need a loop, I just need it to be bent over.
You need something to catch the hook.
Yes.
That's all.
All right.
So much better.
There we go. Nice. I know I made this for you, but I'm going to use it. Because I can make another one.
Yeah, we have lots of beads and lots of forms.
We do.
Because you bought the
that
kits, but you also bought a pack of extra forms.
I did.
And we've got beads from her stash that if we run out of things here, we can totally raid her stash.
I brought about 50 pounds of beads with me, my friends.
She did.
It was a lot of beads. A lot of them are the deep stash beads that I sorted in a video a while back, where I was like, I'm taking all of my leftover beads from bead boxes and I'm sorting them into great big stash piles. And so I brought a bunch of those because I was like, you know what? If we want to just raid the stash, do like an orange colored snowflake, if we wanted to, we could. I don't see us really doing that really soon.
Even if I liked the color orange, I would have a hard time getting past the mental block of, snowflakes are like clear and possibly blue.
Right.
But that's it. I have a hard time thinking of any other color that's appropriate for a snowflake.
Yellow.
Ew. A pile of snow, but not a snowflake. I don't think that a snowflake would be discernible after it's been turned yellow.
Probably not.
pretty sure that's not how that works.
Probably not. I just checked on the paintings and they are still damp, so let's keep making.
Keep making. Okay.
Keep making stuff.
And that's the nice thing about this particular project, because we're not looking for like the appropriate break in the beading to go back to the painting. It's
we
just
can just keep going till we're sick of it.
Yeah, because
Or until
we can make a bunch
we've
of
made
these.
some of them and they're perfect. I'm sorry I ruined your first one. You would be much further along if it wasn't for me. I promise.
Well, you can do one thing for me.
What?
Cut off the loop you made here,
Oh, geez.
if we can.
I don't want to ruin my.
Oh, that's right. We're
my
not cutting
cutters.
those. We're not cutting those. Never mind. We have lots of beads.
Hold on,
We
hold
don't
on.
have to recover those beads.
Hold on. Because
If she broke it once, she
if
can
I
break
broke
it again.
it once, I can break it again. Here you go. Nice thing about wire is, if you bend it and then bend it back, it weakens the wire. And that's pretty much what I did to break it the first time, was bend it forward and then bend it back again.
Yeah.
All right, so I've got these. Let me put these guys back there. I'm just sorting them back into their
Okay.
areas so that they're.
Or I'll grab this little pile.
Yes,
and
grab
work
the
from it
pile.
right here.
Let me get this guy undone.
Okay.
Ooh.
Well, and that one.
Well,
was
there
just
we go.
A cap on it.
Oh, that one just had a
I
cap.
only needed one. Only one was bent.
I ruined it again.
You were just going the above and beyond.
I'm just.
You wanted to put in more
Becky
effort
smash.
than you did. Yes. Oh, I think you put the big one there.
Yeah. Becky smash. There you go.
Yeah, I only needed the one result because there was a stopper on the other one. I just was catching you in between snowflakes.
Right. Well, I was doing hooks. I had moved on
Oh.
because I made 2 snowflakes so far, and
You're
I
trying
don't
to give me
want,
a chance to catch up.
I don't want you to feel like you're falling behind or anything like that. And
don't
plus,
want
I
that.
used the hook that I had made for you, so I'm making another one to replace that.
Because I will be needing that soon.
So I'm just bending it around like this, and then just kind of giving this part a little straightened bit, and then I'm going to cut it right here.
Oh, except I won't need it because, yes, I will need it, but you've already made the loop.
Because we decided to start with the loop.
Oh, it's so much better.
Because one of us has really smart ideas.
Becky has really smart ideas too, I promise. I'm more of a checklist person, so I was like, if we do this before that, then it's better.
Right?
That's just the way my brain works. And I'm not always right.
I sort of
It's not
love
always
this hook.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Thank you. I'm going to make a few more.
Make some more beautiful hooks for
I'm
us.
going to make some more hooks.
because
yeah.
we're making more snowflakes.
We're making more snowflakes.
I don't even know if we're going to do the wire wrap. It's cute. It's really pretty.
Yeah, let's not do that today. Let's save that for another day.
Yeah.
Because right now, I
this is
think
just
these
simple
are
and
just,
fun.
they're enough. They're enough.
Well, and I was thinking that you kind of
They're pretty
mentioned
enough.
earlier, like the idea of like maybe making some gifts, you know, people who are craft worthy and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that my husband's grandmother and my in-laws would love some beaded ornaments. That could be a nice
love-
gift that I could give them.
Jenny's husband's grandma, Granny.
She's the sweetest.
She is so wonderful. She's this petite French woman who lives in North Texas, and she's just fantastic.
Yep. She married a soldier and moved to Texas, learned English. She's an amazing woman, but super sweet. And everybody that she meets is adopted in his family.
Yep.
Everybody.
Yep.
And I'm officially family, but Becky's family too.
Yes.
So, yeah, my in-laws
she's
are pretty
fantastic.
wonderful.
You got good people.
I do.
You got good people.
Okay, now I've got this hook. Do I need to open that simple hook?
Yes, let me get that for you in just a sec.
Okay.
Okay. So swing that open.
No mingling of the form required.
Yeah, she's She's like, you just do the one loop and then you don't touch it anymore, Becky.
But it worked.
It works. Look at these like raindrops on a snowflake. That is beautiful, Jenny. I love that.
I love it. And I think it's
Love it. Yes.
Yeah,
That'll
we're
be good.
previewing. We'll show you later, but we're previewing how well it's going to go with my painting.
Yes. I don't think I'm getting as great a salt effect on mine, and that might be because it was kind of dry when I put the salt on, and then I added water, and then I put the salt back on, and it's fine though, because we got this, it's bleed proof white. It's like a white ink that is water soluble, and I'm going to use it. That's what bleed proof white is. It's a white ink. It's not gouache.
Yeah, but it's
And
it's slightly opaque. It's not like if you put it on thick, then it's fully opaque, but otherwise it's more.
yeah, I'm gonna use some of this and kind of sprinkle it onto my painting to get snowflakes.
Do I
It'll be
do a
fine.
big one or a little one?
How?
Big one.
Yeah. Here, why don't I do a little one? And since we're not doing that, I'm gonna grab some of these bicones.
Yeah, they're super sparkly.
They're
They've got great
super,
sparkle.
super sparkly. I'm gonna do just bicones on this one. I'm not.
Do you
gonna
want the other size?
Yeah, a couple of those. 12 of them. Because I need 6 spokes, right?
Yep.
Ooh.
Okay, I have 12.
Okay. It's right there.
If I'm off
Perfect.
by one, we can grab more, but that should be 12.
Perfect. Okay. So I'm just gonna stack some of these guys on.
I still love the really round ones. I love these beads.
You know, if you're
I'm
feeling
trying
the
to
round
decide.
ones, go with the round ones.
Well, because some of these can be for my tree, but some of them can also be for gifts. I'm just making snowflakes, and then I'll decide what to do with all of them.
But if you're feeling the round, then go for the round.
I love the finish on them.
Yes. Do I want to put the big one on here? That's too many big ones. How about if I turn these around, do this. Okay, it's gonna be a kind of a simple one. So, to my friends who are watching this, have you already started your Christmas shopping? I haven't. I'm nowhere near close to done. And like I said in my wrap up, I tend to do handmade gifts when I do gifts for family, for people who are gift worthy or craft worthy.
I'm guessing you didn't bring stuff for me to take to Pampa.
I did not.
To back home, where to mom and stuff.
Yeah. You know when you're packing the car for a road trip, friends, and you are like, you've got a checklist and you're like, did I include this? Did I include that? Then you're like, wait, what if I bring this too? Yeah, I went through my checklist like 5 times and there was something missing every single time I went through it for coming here. And I did not remember to bring things for family, which is also very typical Becky. This one's just gonna be crystal. See, like that?
I like that. I wish there were more of these in a different size.
I know. I wasn't the one who packed these though.
No.
I didn't. I wonder if no. No, I'm not gonna start. I'm not gonna leave while we're in the middle of this and go digging through the beads I brought.
That's not what I was asking for.
Yeah, I know, but I was about to get distracted and like go off on a journey. I'm like, quest.
No, I don't like it.
Go questing, side quest.
See, this is why the first one always takes longer, because you're figuring out what you like and what you don't.
Right.
It's too spindly.
Oh, I wanted to add another one of these on there. Just on the end. Here we go.
And do you think your camera's picking up the music I have very faintly playing in the background?
It probably isn't.
Okay.
When we used to do painting together,
You
Jenny
never
would have
really did
have
it?
music playing, and I would barely ever hear it,
Okay.
if at all. So there is some music in the background. So if you're wondering if you're hearing it and you're wondering what that is, it's just some music that my sister has playing. It's very low level, like
meditation music.
yeah, meditation music. There's not a beat. There's not really a melody either. It's just, some sounds.
Soft flutes
Yep.
and that kind of thing.
So it's very calming. I'm enjoying it.
I like to have things not be completely silent when I'm making things, because I tend to get uptight and anxious about stuff otherwise. So,
Well, I just talk to the camera when I'm making things, or to myself.
yeah.
That is really good. I know some of my friends, when they're making things, they like to turn on my videos and hang out with me. And that is nice.
That's a much bigger one.
Not too big. Oh, no, I like that.
Okay.
I am honestly really liking my just plain crystal one. It's just a teeny. I love that, Jen.
With the bigger ones on the ends? Does that
Yes.
look weird, or does that look good?
No, it looks beautiful with the big ones on the ends.
Okay.
Because sometimes like when you have like a snowflake crystal, like they'll have like the big thing on the end, like an actual snowflake. That looks good. It looks accurate.
Okay. I would like you to curl that one, please.
Yes. Time to go to work.
Make a loop.
Make a loop.
It doesn't have to be pretty.
I'm on it. One loop. Not pretty.
All right. Okay, so these are different sizes, so I'm separating them a little bit. You're not currently using, you finished one, right? Or are you making one right now?
I made it pretty.
You're making a clear one.
Yeah.
Because there's only a few of these, I just realized.
Yeah.
but
Oh,
I'm only
geez, is there
using-
enough?
There is enough for me to finish this one. I
Okay.
need these.
Yes. You take them.
Just these 5.
You take.
I know, but I just need those 5.
Okay.
And then I need 5 of these. I only did 5 of each. These faceted ones. I need 6 because there's 6, but I've already done one.
Yes. You need 5 more.
Yeah. I'm using a lot of these seed beads.
Thanks. I have a seed bead that doesn't have a hole that goes all the way through it, and I keep trying to put my my wire through it. And I need to just set this aside completely.
You do.
There we
That's
go.
what I was just gonna say. Throw it across the room. I'll find it in 2 years.
But not because you're bad at housekeeping. Just because beads hide places. Some of these forms are easier to bend than others.
In a good way or a bad way?
In a good way.
Okay. Not like bending out of shape.
No, like I'm not having to fight it as much as
good.
those other ones. Like
We can't tell which ones, because we've already mixed them
Right,
up.
we mixed
which
them all
ones
up
came
together.
in the kit, which ones were bought separately.
super smart of us. We're amazing geniuses.
So we can't tell you which ones bend more easily or
Right.
not.
Sorry about that. That's fine though. Well,
But what a great way for you to use up stash if you've just got
yeah,
some that you're needing to do. Just
exactly. Or if you've got like an accumulation of like crystals that you don't know what to do with or something, stack them on.
okay, I've just thought of one exception to the blue and white for snowflakes.
What?
Possible. Maybe a very pale pink. Something that catches like the sunlight of like a sunset or
A pale pink would be
super
beautiful.
pale pink would actually be
I
pretty.
love that idea.
Especially like for us, our mom is a breast cancer survivor. That's the kind of snowflake that she would, I think, really like. She also loves the color blue. So
We have some pale pink beads. We could make some. Not tonight.
not tonight,
Not tonight.
but as a future, hey, let's just get out some beads and make stuff, even if we're not filming it.
Right?
That's a thing that we
Right.
can do.
We can definitely do that. All right. So here's my teeny tiny guy. Let's make a little loop on this. I'm having a lot of fun with making these. I wanted a fatter loop on these hooks because, you know, pine trees are fat, like the boughs. It'll fit better if it's rounder, in my opinion. I like it. I like it a lot. Are you reconsidering?
No, I like this one where we looped it, but I'm not sure I like the way this ends on the ones that go a little longer.
Do you want me to try looping them? Because that wire is easier for me to loop than the other one was.
Yeah,
so
I think
could
I'm going to
loop
skip the
it.
seed beads and just have you loop them at the end.
Okay. All right. I am ready and willing to loop
I have to very gently
Now that I've
work off
finished
that
my-
stopper or my beads will go flying.
my one crystal. Yeah.
Is that too much space? Because that's
Nope, that's fine.
symmetrical for my pattern. Okay.
Where are you going? Stop twisting around, buddy.
See? She does it with wire too. You did it with something else last night, was it? What was it? It was not beading. It was something else entirely.
It was. This is who I am as a person. You guys know this about
It might
me.
have been a piece of chocolate for all I know.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know.
it probably was. It was either that or it was something.
We've been enjoying our time.
Yes.
We've been watching TV shows together, and I introduced her to one that she loves.
Yeah, Shakespeare and Hathaway.
Yeah,
Is that
that's
it?
the one.
Shakespeare and Hathaway. It's on BritBox, and it is one of those British murder mystery ones, but it is so funny, and there's so many like puns and like references to Shakespearean plays, and it is a fantastic show. So we've been watching that too. If you have BritBox or something, or if you're in the UK and you know the show, it's so much fun. Definitely going to be watching more
Well,
of
it's
it.
one of those things I've watched, but it made me think of it when we were watching an episode of Doctor Who where the 10th Doctor and Martha go and hang out with Shakespeare. And if you haven't noticed Becky's tattoo on her arm, which I know shows up, there's a TARDIS right here. So if you didn't already see that or see the Dalek and the Cybermen fighting on the last week's recap, you might know that Becky is a little bit of a Whovian. So we were watching a little bit of that, but it reminded me of this other show, and I was like, that's actually so Becky's humor.
Yeah, exactly. So we've been doing some of that. We have not just been making things. We have been enjoying sister time.
This is
together.
actually our first sit down and make since you got here,
Right.
which is fine because we were doing other things.
Yeah,
with our time.
it's not that I haven't been making things. I've also I brought a bunch of this wire, the Softflex wire with me, because it's wire that my sister can wear next to her skin, And she has a jewelry box full of jewelry that some of it she's able to wear and some of it she isn't. So the stuff that doesn't work for her to wear, I was making jump rings and clasps so that we can remake some of her jewelry and get it more Jenny friendly.
Whether we do that now or in the future, we're going to go through everything. And
we'll go through everything.
Some of it, I might be like, I don't really want this anymore, but do you want to pull this apart and use this as components to make something else?
Exactly.
You know?
So what may happen, and because we have been like, we're going to do a lot of stuff, but also we're spending a lot of time just hanging out.
We may have overplanned our week
exactly.
a little bit. Just a little.
So what we might do is if you send it with me, then it can be something that I do, over some time. I'll be like, okay, these are some things that we're going to remake so that they're more, allergy friendly things to wear.
Well, and a lot of what's in my jewelry box is stuff that I only bought it because I knew that it was allergy friendly. Most of it is like that.
Yes.
But it's also old and tarnished and maybe not in the best shape. And so taking some time to kind of see what I have and then possibly remake or be inspired by, like, okay, I really liked this style of thing, but I don't necessarily want this again. Can we just do something like it? Oh, that's what was wrong. Shoot. That's one reason to do the stoppers instead. I missed a bead.
Oh, shoot. Do you want me to? No,
Nope.
I'm not going to try unbending it.
I'm going to use that one for the hook. The one that's a little bit off will be the one I put the hook on.
Wonderful. Because it'll give it a little more room for hooking.
Yep.
Did you see my Just Crystal?
I like that.
Yeah.
It's very sweet.
It'll look nice next to like the blue ones too. I like variety in snowflakes. I think that's one of the reasons I was so captivated by them in my youth and making snowflakes so much was because I could just do every single one differently and they all were like their own form of beauty, the way that they were.
Yeah, and for me, like my snowflake story is like, I like words, okay? I like words, and this one day it was snowing outside, and I was little. I was probably
She was like 2 years
5.
old.
No, I was.
Oh,
It
was
It was in Provo.
Was
I
it older?
At least,
Okay.
I was at least 4, possibly 5.
Probably 4. I know it was like preternaturally young. So.
It was super young, where I was learning words, and I said, Mom, look, it's fluttering outside.
It was snowing.
And it was snowing.
It was fluttering, and when we went back to Utah for our father's funeral, my sister and I hadn't seen each other for a long, long time. And so we were staying at the same hotel, so I came over to see her. It was after or during like COVID lockdowns and that sort of thing, so we hadn't been in the same space together until we went to do that. And so I went to go visit her in her hotel room, and it was fluttering outside, so we stood and we were just sisters and we watched the snow come down. We watched the fluttering.
The gorgeous thick snow that you only really get in those mountains.
Yep. It was definitely the big fat flakes. That's one of my favorite memories, by the way, Jenny, is being able to just stand at the window and watch the snow with my sister.
And similar to the snow fluttering, I also was convinced that butterflies were badly named.
They're flutterbys, guys, because they flutter by.
They don't butterflies.
That's not what they do.
It's not. Okay. This one is correct. Yes.
You need me to loop it.
Wait, hold on. I was comparing it to the one next to it that was wrong. I was like, it's a little bit too short. That was the thing. It's 3 beads, I promise. I'll hand it back soon. If I can find the hole. Okay, that's... It tilted out of my hand.
Oh no!
It tilted out of my hand.
Oh no! Oh, Jenny.
I am eventually going to finish a second snowflake.
I believe you. I believe in you.
That's so sad.
No.
Oh, no.
There's more beads on the floor.
I know.
That's
We'll
fine.
clean
We'll
those
find
up
them later.
later.
We'll find them later. Oh my gosh, Jen. Oh no, you were so careful about it
handing
too.
it over so gently, and it just tilted.
Oh no.
And you just suddenly had beads flying at you.
They were just coming right towards me. Oh my goodness,
There was
friends.
no stopping those beads.
See, this is why you should do this with friends, guys. Is so when
Because then
things
it's
happen
fun.
like that. Yeah, there's that bead.
You laugh instead of
Found it.
cry.
Right, right. It is a lot easier to laugh about it when there's somebody there with you. Oh, sorry. I thought that was Ellen, but I think she is still just snoozing on the couch.
I haven't heard her come in.
Yeah,
And we would hear her little claws on the tile.
we would. All right.
Looking for hooks. That's one of the beads that went flying, I guess.
Just making more hooks.
Because you're waiting for me to finish with this. And hand to you.
Well, we're gonna need hooks for ornaments, so
We are.
So we'll just keep making
Whether it's
them.
these ornaments or other ones that we make,
Exactly.
we really are waiting for a delivery for some more fun ornament making.
Yeah, there were these ceramic beads at Snowflakes that they have that they look like little peppermint candy swirls. And so I ordered some of those. They come in strands of 6. And I ordered them to be delivered to my sister's house since I knew I was going to be here. And so they are on their way. They are on their way. In fact, I can check tracking real quick and see where they're at, because
They'll probably be for delivery tomorrow.
probably. Nice.
Okay, I'm holding this very carefully upright.
All right.
Whoops. Whoops, whoops.
Everything is fine. Everything is fine. All right. It's safe now. You can swing it
Thank you.
around.
I'm not that exuberant.
Well, I could swing it around. Do you want me to swing it around for you?
I don't think that would, like, nobody would see that, so it wouldn't be nearly as fun as it sounds. It would be for your own personal amusement. Would you like to swing it around?
A little bit.
Okay. Here you go. Swing it around. Oh, okay. I was thinking swing it around like a
Oh
lasso
yeah,
above
no,
your head.
that's not what I had in mind. I'm just swinging it around, and now it's not flying. Notice how it's not flying everywhere.
It's not flying.
See, it's because there's a loop on the end.
There is a loop on the end. Oh boy.
Yes.
I hear your dog now.
I think she might be having dreams.
I think she is. So I'm not saying her name.
Yeah.
So all of you hear Becky's dogs when they whine or they snore or if they flap their ears. But do you know which dog is making the sound every time? I do.
Yes. Natalie is my ear flapper, and Ellen is my whiner.
Well, and they sound different when they like whine or even when they snore. I can tell when it's Ellen.
Now Natalie's a lot louder actually than Ellen is when they're snoring.
But I've known Ellen longer.
Yes. All right, I can make more hooks later. I think this might end up being about. I think our paintings might be dry. Do you want to switch to painting?
Yeah, we'll need to do at least one other. I think we might need a couple of layers to finish.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably not going to finish on this next round of painting. I have 2 spokes of a snowflake to go though.
Well, you spoke that
I
out.
would like to finish a second snowflake.
I approve of this.
And this way I'm not asking you to shift gears when I ask you to finish off a thing for me, which I'm holding upright very nicely.
Okay, there we go.
Because if I don't have to restring them, it's not that slow.
Right? It's not that slow. Okay. I'm not going to swing that one around.
Okay.
Just in case you were like, I wonder if she's going to do that again.
Once was probably enough.
Once was enough. I got it out of my system. I got it out of my system. I think I want to do another one of these. Just for 1, 2, 3. And one of these dark blue ones. Let's do 1, 2, 3. And clear blue.
And this is probably one of Becky's longer videos because we're being silly and just making things.
Yes, we are.
But I'm sure that she'll put in little markers where you can, or links to timestamps if you don't want to be here for all the stringing and catastrophes. But I think those are fun.
Catastrophes are fun when they happen to somebody else and not you.
Or when they happen alongside your sister and you can be silly about it. Because the catastrophe when you're by
absolutely
yourself is kind of heartbreaking
This is true.
and discouraging. And we don't want that.
No.
I don't like that one. It's got weird finish on it.
Oh, it's just been scuffed. It's fine.
Yeah,
I'll
but it
just
doesn't
move
need
it
to
over
be
there.
on my
Yeah.
snowflake. Okay.
You'll want a better one for...
That's just the watercolor. It's actually, so I have a watercolor, but I never use it to get cool water. It's actually here where my hot chocolate bar is. I have a whole cabinet full of mugs and hot cocoa and some teas and some cider.
A hot chocolate bar is a fantastic.
And so we always
of the
have
house.
hot water ready for such a hot drink, which is perfect for this time of year.
Yeah,
Curl up with a cozy mug of something.
because the watercolor cooler also does hot water.
Oh yes. Yeah, it's one of those like Primo has a hot and cold dispenser, and we only use it for the hot.
Right. No, I didn't want to use that one. I used a clear one. There we go. This sucks. Yes, that sucks. So yeah, just in case you hear that noise, that's what that is. It's just the watercolor.
For some reason, ours is our newest, because we got a new one. Our old one stopped working, and it's really noisy. Like, it likes to clang and creak and make weird clicking sounds in the middle of the night. Like it's trying to settle, but it never actually finishes settling. It's kind of odd, but it gives me hot water on demand that is hot enough to, dissolve hot cocoa mix.
hot enough to steep some tea in it.
And I know there's going to be some people who say, oh, hot cocoa needs to be made with hot milk. You can do that. I couldn't have milk when I was younger, and so I got used to having it otherwise. And the cocoa that I use has, I can have milk now, but it has, I never got used to the flavor of milk. Anyway, I don't want to smell like milk heating up on the stove, which is what we used to do as kids. But the mix has basically powdered milk in it, so it does add some milk. But one of the things that you can do, because it comes out really hot, like too hot to drink, if you want to, you can very easily make your cocoa, mix it up, and then top it off with some milk from the fridge to help cool it down, and then also give you more of that milky texture and flavor. And of course, we top with marshmallows.
Yes. That's another thing that's at the hot cocoa bars. Little packages of marshmallows.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is my last spoke of my snowflake.
Okay.
And it looks like you're on your next to last one, or you got two? No, you're halfway.
I've got several more to go.
Do we want to, since I've now completed at least 2 snowflakes, do some more painting?
Yeah, I think we should do some more painting, actually. That would be a great use of our time. Let me twist the end of my spoke. I don't need to finish this one. I can finish it later.
You can just
But let's get
tie off where you're at. Yeah.
Let's get an ornament on here.
Okay, and the one I'm doing is this one. That's the one that's the odd one out that I messed up on.
Okay.
You got it open?
Yep.
Okay. And there's my snowflake.
Where am I? Okay.
Oh yeah, that's definitely dry enough to move on.
Yep. So, first part is scraping the salt off of there. Let me put these guys out of the way
To move the mat.
to move the mat. Just gonna stick these onto the mat and then just scooch the mat over.
Very close to the edge. There we go.
Just gonna scooch the
I'll
mat
pull.
over.
It's probably easier to pull than push.
If you want to move your guys out of the way, and then we can
That
move our
wrinkle's gonna make
painting things
those-
back.
The beads. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
It's a little bit better. All right, so let me get my painting out.
Oh, yep. And our palettes.
Palettes are over here. There we go. So I've got some salt in here still. Can you get to everything?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
So you can
I'm gonna stand up a little bit
and
and show.
make sure that that's in frame
Yeah,
and focuses.
we can see.
Does it show up on the camera?
I hope so.
It's such a pale blue sky, but it really does. It looks cool in person.
Yeah.
I hope that you also see.
Yeah, and mine didn't get the granulation as much as my sister's did, but they are still a moody sky, which
Yeah.
I am not mad about. All right, are we still in frame? There we go.
Is this good?
You're in frame over there. Yes.
Okay.
Good. All right. So where is my paintbrush that I was using? There it is. I found it.
You didn't.
I found it, and here's some water.
We have these paint cups that have these handy little things to stick your paintbrushes in when you're not using.
And I didn't do that.
She
They
didn't.
go like that. I did not do that. All right, I'm gonna just grab a little bit of Payne's Gray real quick. That's this color here. Gonna make it real light right here on this part. I'm gonna start doing some
Snowdrift shadows.
snowdrifts.
I want mine to be slightly bluish tint, my shadows. So I'm mixing it with the blue that I already used in the sky. It's just going to be more gray and then highly diluted. So
Doesn't need to be. There we go. And they will. There we go. Now I'm going to grab some of this green, because the green is going to be for my trees. This is, what was it, Cascade green? Is that what it was?
Forest green.
Forest green. It's one of the things in Sennelier paints. It's a very, very brightish color. I'm going to add just a little bit more of the Payne's Gray to it, just to tone it down, because it's very bright still.
Giving some nice background colors. It's not just stark white on the bottom, even though a really white field is like how we typically see snow. Your eye picks out the brightness, but there's actually shadows and things like that that just give it texture, and can especially in a painting portray distance, so that it doesn't just look like a block of white that you don't know is that close, is that far, is, you know, any of that. So I just kind of did some streaky gray, and to me that looks like
Love it.
snow-covered fields that convey some distance and some variation.
Okay. I've just gone and started with some lines, and I'm just gonna do some dots with the green on either side of these lines, spread them out. Get a little bit of the, like that.
I'm bluing up my green just a little,
Okay.
because I have more blues and grays. So, yeah, I like that.
So this is a part where we're just going to be kind of vibing with our paint. And when we paint together, we would just have our comfortable silences that we have as family, doing our things together.
So, sorry if that gets super awkward for you, but
Yeah.
that's something that Becky and I have always been able to do, is we can have super comfortable silences.
Yeah. Remember when she came to visit me once, we were both sitting in the same room and we were both reading books and we were just hanging out together. It's something that we did because we shared a room
We did.
when we were younger, and so we were used to just doing our own things but doing it together. And that's what she came to visit me, and we were doing our own things but doing it together because that's what we always did. And my husband at the time was so mad at me. He was like, she came to visit you and you're just ignoring her? And I'm like, what? I'm not ignoring her. We're enjoying each other's company.
It was before cell phones were really a thing. Like, I had a cell phone, but you didn't play games on it. You didn't scroll social media. That didn't happen. But we were just both reading different books, and that was
And like, she'd get to a part and she'd be like, oh, this part is really funny, and she'd tell me about it or something. It was just, it's something that we've always done. It's doing our own things but doing it together.
I should actually do like a mid-tone in this, but I don't want to extend it too long.
Yeah, I'm not doing midtones. I've got my background, I've got my sky, I've got my trees, I've got my snow, and I'm gonna call it good after I hit it with some bleed proof white. Because I think I'm gonna do a little bit of that on the trees too.
Yeah, because they need to look a little snow covered. So like getting in there with a small detail brush to add that kind of snowy texture.
Yeah. But do you see how like very different our art styles are?
We literally use the same 4 colors.
Same 4 colors, same
4 colors.
same concept of what we wanted to paint, but 2 very, very, very wildly different paintings.
And I should be using a smaller point brush, but I don't care. I'll use it for the other side that goes farther in the distance, so there'll be smaller trees.
I think that's a good idea. I'm still using this big old fat round 10 for all of these.
And I didn't want too like straight of a line for this line of trees.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing now is I'm going in and I'm adding some branches for trees that are more forward, where they overhang a little bit, so that you get that that's like a, you know?
Yeah.
It's an uneven line of trees.
I
It's
love
a
your
forest.
tree line. That is such a fantastic tree line. Mine is not as landscapey as yours.
I love to paint landscapes.
I know
It's
you
one of
do.
it's one of my favorite things.
I know.
So it's where I feel comfortable, and I honestly haven't painted for almost 2 years.
And look, you still got it.
I was going to be really really ambitious and paint Christmas cards for people, and I got frustrated and I burnt out so hard on it, and then my art supplies got buried, and that became not a thing I was doing anymore, and that's sad because it's something that Becky and I have shared.
Paper doll.
Oh, yours is missing. Oh. So there's 2 things you could do with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a tree that's growing up out of there.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
See, you're going to vary your tree line after all.
I am. But I'm gonna do it after I finish these guys.
Yeah. Okay, I thought that this hill was going to be farther in the distance, but I'm actually painting these trees closer to the front.
Okay.
So, you know.
Hey. You're gonna have some trees back in the back too?
Yeah, I am. I just need to give myself, I have a small puddle of paint.
Yeah.
So I'm going in here and I am grabbing the colors that I used to darken. I first darkened my green and then with the Payne's Gray, and then I added a little bit of the, I think that's the cobalt blue, to blue up my green, so it was more...
It's aquamarine.
Yeah. Still more on the green side, but not by much.
Yeah. I do like that color. It's like a real dark teal.
It reminds me of like a blue spruce.
Yes.
That's kind of what I mean,
Yes.
these aren't exactly, I'm not a, what is a person who specializes in trees?
An arborist.
Arborist. I'm not one of those, so this is not going to be accurate, but I want this to feel like a blue spruce forest.
We used to when we were young. Every winter, our family would man a Christmas tree lot. So we got very familiar with the different Christmas tree breeds and what made them one versus the other.
I don't know if I'm still on screen. I need to make sure I hug it close to me, and then
I
I'm probably
know.
off while I'm working on things.
I don't know if we're still on screen or not, but hopefully our friends can see what we're doing.
Okay, I need to dilute this a little bit more. Yeah, that's not spray.
So one of the things that I struggled with a little bit when we were painting together is just how much better my sister is with like detail work than I am. But one of the things that you do when you do like a let's make art thing is you promise before you even start painting not to compare your work. So that was something that I worked on a lot, and I came to really appreciate how good she is, but then I started to appreciate my own art at the same time. So that was...
Well, and we found things that we enjoyed more, like Becky is really good at like ink and wash.
Yes.
And that's something she loves to make. She
I
loves
love
to
illustrative styles.
Yes. Whereas I do tend to be a little bit more on the not hyper realistic, that bothers me, but kind of like a dreamy realistic, you know?
Yeah. All right, yeah. Let's get myself. I'm gonna just maybe switch to a different brush.
I got green in the middle of mine.
What other brushes do we have here? I'm gonna switch
I
to a
have
different one.
I have some fine. Here. Here's a 2.
A 2 will work.
I think it's a 2. It's small. Oh, it's a 0.
Oh,
It's a 0 round.
Yeah, I don't want a 0.
This is a 2.
Okay, I'll take a 2.
And then I have 10, but I don't think you want the 10.
Yeah.
I'm using the other 2 right now. Because I'm wanting to do tiny marks. So I made my trees lighter in the distance back here so that this hill's kind of like going behind, and then some bold trees here, and brought these ones closer and higher up so it doesn't look like trees in a row like soldiers on parade.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I'm going to do now that I have my tree line kind of where I want it, and it is still wet, so I'd have to be careful with this. I'm going to go ahead and do the gray again and go slightly darker gray than I did before, and give myself some shadows under my trees.
I'm doing this one right in front darker, and then I'm going to define its branches a little bit more with the bleed proof white. Once I get these out here so that it is, yep, funky tree. All right, where is that bleed proof white, by the way? Let's get that. Ooh, woken up a little bit. Hello, Ellen. I am fine with not waiting for this to dry to start doing this. So this is the bleed proof white. It's again a white ink. It's very thick right now, so I'm just adding some water to kind of wake it up and get it a little like that. Okay. And now
My shadow's getting a little green, which is fine because the forest would cast a green shadow, right?
that is not
necessarily a bad thing.
it's not spattering the way I want it to.
Oh, I don't know if that spatters very well.
That's fine, because you know what? These are just going to be nice fat drops of snow, some fluttery snow. It's fluttering, big fat. Big fat drops.
I don't know. I don't know if my shadows ruined it or not, but no, I think the shadows need to be there.
Big fat drops of snow falling. I think that's gonna be all right. Now, just trying to do what I think would be the tops of some of these boughs and branches. With a little bit of snow.
Nope, that did not work. There's a insect that decided that it needed to be in my water.
Oh,
That's not
not
fun
where
to
you
put on
go,
my
buddy.
painting. Yeah,
That's
this doesn't spatter very well, does it?
Nope, it needs to be thinned out a lot more, I think, for
I
that.
don't want to mess
but,
with that.
But look how nice it looks on the tree.
Yeah, I'm getting a smaller brush to do that part.
All right, and I'm just gonna do a couple of highlights on the trees. some wintry things and scenes. So we've lived places where it snows, but we don't really get a lot of snow where we're living right now. That's totally okay. Because, well, snow is very, very magical when you're younger, when you have to drive through it a lot every single day. It's not as much fun. I'm realizing that adding so many trees was me subjecting myself to then having to add snow to all of these trees. That was a mistake.
That might be why a lot of my trees are like background smudges.
Yes.
They don't need snow added to them because they're background smudges.
That's right.
Have to pick it up and hold it at a distance. So that's why it's off camera at the moment. I have to pick it up and hold it at a distance to see if I like the effect. Because nobody's gonna get up close and personal with my painting. Okay, I'm gonna steal a little bit of this palette space to get some bleed proof white and try to
Get some
loosen
spatters
it up.
going.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I just dolloped on my page. Because I didn't have that really pretty
Well, again, the difference between a more illustrative style and like,
I didn't have the salt effect that you did.
yeah. Okay, I'm getting it to do drops, but it's like drops. Casting shadows kind of drops.
Ooh.
It might not be watered down enough.
No, I think it might need to be watered down a little bit more. Hey, Ellen. Can you guys hear her feet on the tile? She's coming over to say hi.
Okay. I'm gonna very lightly because just press it straight down and then, then I get a little bit more of a snowflake thing. I didn't smudge, I just pressed down so that I would get the
good
shadows
job.
and blotchy bits out of the way. And it doesn't really show because I do have such a light colored painting, but there are little bits of snow in the sky and things like that. So it's good enough.
I think I'm almost ready to call this done. For this.
And while it's still wet, I'm gonna clean up the splatters that I just put on my table.
That is a really good plan. I like that.
Because I put splatters on my table. That's one thing to be very careful of if you choose to do like the splatters for stars. This is really great for doing stars too, not just snow. You can totally, you want to make sure you don't have like a laptop or a tablet open nearby, like if you're watching a video and doing a tutorial.
Or if you're like on Zoom with your sister.
Yes, because it will get on your electronics when you go to splatter paint.
It will absolutely do that.
It will. But I think I'm gonna call mine done. It's not super amazing, but hey, it's something we had fun painting.
That's right. We had fun.
And
That's
I like it.
another thing that you promise to do when you do a Let's Make Art thing is you promise to have fun.
Yes. So, and we talked about doing ornaments. We both were looking forward to that, and then we've got more ornaments we're doing tomorrow. But
Yeah.
Becky knows that I haven't painted for a while, and so it was actually my suggestion to do this one as like painting and jewelry for my tree, but jewelry
Yes.
all the same. So
It's one of the things that she enjoys watching when she's watching my channel, because my sister watches my channel
I
too.
do.
I'm gonna grab that Payne's Gray real quick,
Oh, okay.
like straight out of the pot. And this guy, I'm just gonna do teeny tiny.
Oh, to sign it.
I sign with a little flower.
Is that my tiny tooth paintbrush? I'll need that one. Yeah, you grab my paintbrush.
Yeah, because it's got a nice point.
I'm not going to use that because I have softer colors in here. I'm going to use this because this is still dark on this side of it.
Good plan.
My bluish gray that I made for my shadows is what I'll use for my little scrawl of Jenny G at the bottom.
I've got a bunch of paint on my fingers, which happens sometimes. I've also got some trees on my fingernails.
Yep.
Super fun, super cute. I love it. You know what? It's not totally dry, but I think it's dry enough that
we
can do the reveal. Let's pull off our corners.
Yeah, so they're on a block, so you don't have to tape, but we decided to tape to get a nice line.
A nice.
And since
clean
our
edge.
sky is fully dry, we can pull off this tape.
Yes.
And that paint's not going to travel anymore.
Yeah.
Sorry. So Becky's doing, you don't know which one to focus on.
Right? We're doing it at the same time, guys. Super fun.
But it gives a nice,
A nice clean edge.
Clean edge. And it actually helps for you to see, like, if this color just runs off the side, then my sky doesn't have much color to it. But if you
That's
see
right.
it against that bright white, you can see how much color I actually did have in my sky after all.
Yeah, whoops. So we did.
Let's move the palettes out of the way.
And then let's put both of these here so you can see both of them.
I'll close this.
I'm just gonna make sure that it's gonna be in
I was gonna
frame.
say, if you move the palettes out of the way, I'll set mine right above yours where you had it.
No, but
open.
there's space right here.
Okay, is there space to do
Yeah,
it like
there's
this?
space right here. Yeah, so we can have them be right next to each other. Do you see how like wildly different our art styles are?
And yet, this is really typical of the kinds of differences we would see when we were painting even the same project
Even the
together.
same project.
Like following tutorials. We would have this different style.
And then we made our snowflakes to go with our snowscapes. And we painted some trees because these are going to go on some trees.
Yeah, I feel like the first one that I painted is a better color match. See,
Yeah,
that's a little bit better
it
color
is.
match.
It's a very nice color match for your sky.
But I also did
I
this one.
departed a little. This one's a little, not really.
Here we go.
It's fine. It doesn't need to be a color match for me, as long as it's snowflakes.
I just know that's something you did. It was color
I know,
inspiration.
color
between
inspiration between the two.
And as you saw, Becky and I know how to mix different colors to get what we want and the tones that we want. Because we took the time to learn a new skill together.
Yes, we did. Oh man, Jenny, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you everyone who's still here for coming along with us on this little ride, listening to us giggle and play and paint and make ornaments and then ruin ornaments and then remake them again. Again, I'll put links to all of the kits that I used. I'll put links to the Sennelier paint that I used, to these blocks. The Layton block, I got it from AliExpress actually like a couple of years ago, but they sell them on Amazon now too. So I'll put a link to that too if you'd like and you're interested. And thank you again for this. We will probably be doing another video later when we do our candy stuff. And I'm gonna wait until after we make our candy ornaments before I do video of my sister's tree so you can see it hanging in its place with all of the other amazing ornaments that she already has on there. They are so cute, y'all. I can't wait to show them to you. All right.
You make it sound like you're going to get them so hyped up about this.
Right.
It's a fun tree.
It is.
I
It's
love the
really
colors.
fun.
It's whimsical. It's not like fancy.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's not fancy,
So,
but
they're
it's,
not over the top
it's fun.
ornaments, but they're fun. And I think
Exactly.
that we all enjoy a bit of fun. And that's my Christmas tree.
Yes. And I enjoy your Christmas tree.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. So I wanted to
Thank you for having me
share
on
it.
with you, Becky, and doing a little make together.
Yay!
A make and paint.
Make and paint, yes. This is going to be a lot of fun for us to share with y'all. So, I'll talk with you later, and happy beading.
Bye.
Bye.